Hey everyone, it's Bonnie, and today I am here to film a review for the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, which, pretty late, it came out a week ago. I'm sorry about that. I saw this movie back on Tuesday, and I just haven't been able to film, or write, for that matter, a review for it. But I'm here now, and I'm going to do it, so yeah, for those of you that haven't seen it, or have, and just want to see what other people think about it, I don't know, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I have been anticipating this movie for so long. It was on my list of the top 14 most anticipated movies of this year, and oh my god, it was so good. It was so good, guys. I didn't even expect it to be that good. Like, I was excited for it, but like, it was expanded. It was like, it passed my expectations. It was so good. It was so funny. Ugh, there's just so much to love about this movie that if you haven't seen it yet, pause this and just go see it, because now you know it's good. So, and then come back and finish watching this. But it's so... Ugh. Alright, so first I want to talk about the cast for this movie, because the cast was absolutely fantastic. Oh my god. So good, guys. So good. Obviously, Chris Pratt is our main character here. He plays Star-Lord, or Peter, whichever you want to call him, which, why do they have another Peter? Like, Marvel, couldn't you think of more names? Like, we already have Peter Parker. We don't need another Peter. Too many Peters. Too many Peters. But he is played, like I said, by Chris Pratt, who is one of my favorite actors, one of my favorite human beings. He's like number one bae right now. If he's not your number one bae, then I don't know what you're doing with your life, but he's just so great. And it's so nice to see him get all this recognition that he is getting, because I have loved him for a while, because I'm a huge fan of Parks and Rec, where he plays Andy, and I knew how great Chris Pratt was, and just, oh god. During this press tour for Guardians of the Galaxy, he is just zoomed into the spotlight. Everyone knows him, everyone loves him. He's like the number one right now, and I'm so happy because he deserves it so much. He's so wonderful in this movie. I don't think this movie would be half of what it is without Chris Pratt, because he has this effortless comedic gem to him. That doesn't even make sense, but like, he's just so good. He's an angel, and he's sweet and funny, and he's perfect. Chris Pratt is perfect. Chris Pratt for president. Am I right, ladies? But yeah, I'll stop raving about Chris Pratt right now, for now, but I love him so much. Zoe Saldana is also amazing in this movie. She played Gamora, I believe her name is. She was just so kick-ass. Such a good female character. I think one of Marvel's best female characters. I mean, I love Black Widow, but Gamora was just so freaking good. She was so great. I loved her so much. Great female representation in this movie from her, because she is fantastic. Who else? We also have Bradley Cooper, who lent his voice to Rocket, which is the raccoon. Freaking loved that character. He was so funny. And Vin Diesel, who plays Groot, the tree, aka I am Groot. God, I want that on a shirt. I just want a shirt that says, I am Groot. That's all I want. That's all I want. I have to say, probably my favorite role from Vin Diesel. The thing is, I'm being 100% serious. But yeah, there's so many good people in this movie. I could go on forever. Karen Gillian, who played Nebula, she was freaking fantastic. She shaved her head for the role, and it was amazing. And I could just go on about the amount of people. John C. Reilly pops up. It's just, so many good people are in this movie, and so many good characters. So many good characters. Oh my god. It was so funny. Like, the personalities in this movie are just freaking fantastic. So good. So good. Something else I really loved about the movie was just how visually appealing it was. It gave a lot to look at, because it is set in space. They could really play around with the colors and how everything looked, and it was beautiful. Like, I couldn't stop looking at all the different colorful aspects of this movie, and it was just, oh god, it was so nice. It was so nice to look at, and it was also very nice to hear, because that freaking soundtrack was amazing. In the beginning of the movie, Peter has this like mixtape of his mother's favorite songs, and he carries that with him throughout his entire life. and he's always listening to it, and it's just such good classic songs that everyone can really listen to and enjoy. The only one I didn't really like was Cherry Bomb, and they could have picked a different song, I think, there. But besides that, it was freaking fantastic. And it just felt so good. Like, the old kind of tunes just went very well with the vibe of this movie, I feel. For whatever reason, it just gave up this, like, I don't know, it just went so well together, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Obviously, as everyone says, this movie is very funny as well, which is one of its selling points, one of its biggest selling points. And definitely Marvel's funniest movie. The characters in this are just so great. I love how, like, Drax and all the other, like, alienish people, I guess they're all aliens, but you know what I'm saying, the really alien, that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, how his people and everything, like, they don't understand metaphors and things. They take everything very literally, and, like, when Rocket's like, they all go over his head, and he's like, nothing goes over my head. I have great reflexes. Oh my god, I was laughing so much. It's just, and it's that kind of comedy that makes this so good. It's not like, you know, over the top shenanigans. It's just those, like, witty lines that are just so perfect and just effortless, and it's so funny. And part of that is definitely due to the writing, which, can I just say, Guardians of the Galaxy is the first Marvel movie written by a female, and it is now the funniest and one of the best critically acclaimed, I guess, Marvel movies. Like, guys, this is a great, or should I say girls, this is a great power movement for us. I don't know who it is, but I have to, like, let me look her up. Yeah, her name is Nicole Perlman, and obviously, like, there's other writers too that is listed, like the ones who did the comic books, obviously, and then I guess the director helped write, and the director, you know, probably did some too. But Nicole Perlman, she did a lot of this. She's the first female writer for Marvel, and she did a fantastic job. I think they should hire her every single time, because it was so funny. So funny. One last thing that I want to talk about for this movie is how well paced it was. I never really found myself getting bored. I loved every minute of it. It was so good. I mean, I think there's maybe like one time where I found myself being like, okay, let's move on or do this faster. And that kind of comes in two of the action-y sequences, I guess, and I don't want to, like, spoil anything, but yeah. Which leads me to the only things that I really had a problem with for the movie. And this ends up, you know, this is a common theme in Marvel movies that, you know, a lot of time if it's lacking, it's probably in these areas. It had a very typical ending for a Marvel movie, you know, another, like, full-on action thing, and it's just, like, it wasn't bad, but it could have been better, you know? The villains were okay. I didn't really care about them that much, or really, like, feel invested into their story. Like, obviously this happens a lot, again, in Marvel movies, where you don't care that much about the villains. Except for maybe recently Captain America 2, and also, what is it? And obviously the Avengers and Thor, everyone loves Loki. But this one, I just didn't really care about the villains at all, which is bad, but their scenes were just kind of like, But I know we're going to be seeing a lot of a certain villain, throughout the rest of this Marvel comic movie series thing. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes from there. But for now, I'm just not feeling the villains that much. I think Nebula could have been used more. Karen Gillan's character, as I've mentioned before. Like, she was just okay. Like, I loved her look, and I love Karen Gillan, but, like, I don't know. Could have been better, I guess. Could have been more well used, more entertaining overall. Right, and I think that's all I really have to say that's negative. So otherwise, I freaking love this movie. 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. I cannot wait to get it on a DVD so I can show my mom, because she, like, never goes to the movie theater. I don't know how I became her daughter and she doesn't even go to the movie theater, but you know, that's life. But yeah, if you have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet, I highly stress that you do. It was a fantastic movie and I think everyone would really enjoy it because it is so funny. You know, Chris Pratt is so great and so is the rest of the cast, and it's a good time. It's a very, very good time. Sorry this review is so late. I'll try to like not do that in the future. But that is all I have to say for this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye! Alright. It's been really bad. Screen could have cracked.